So I'm just gonna see what the next story is in Antique Fairy Tales. So The Fisherman and His Wife. Have some tea. Okay. A fisherman once lived contentedly with his wife in a little hut near a lake, and he went every day to throw his line into the water. One day, after angling for a long time without even a bite, the line suddenly sank to the bottom, and when he pulled it up again, there was a large flounder hanging to the end of it. "Oh dear," exclaimed the fish, "good fisherman, let me go, I pray you. I am not a real fish, but a prince in disguise. I shall be of no use to you, for I am not good to eat. Put me back again into the water, and let me swim away." "Ah," said the man, "you need not make such a disturbance. I would rather let a flounder who can speak swim away than keep it." That's my dog. What are you doing? Sorry, my dog needed help getting onto the bed. He can't jump. Sorry. Okay, with these words, he placed the fish back again in the water, and it sank to the bottom, leaving a long streak of blood behind it. Then the fisherman rose up and went home to his wife in the hut. "Husband," said the wife, "have you caught anything today?" "I caught a flounder," he replied, "who said he was an enchanted prince, so I threw him back into the water and let him swim away." "Did you not wish?" she asked. "No," he said, "what should I wish for?" "Why, at least for a better hut than this dirty place. How unlucky you did not think of it. He would have promised you whatever you asked for. However, go and call him now. Perhaps he will answer you." The husband, did not like this task at all. He thought it was nonsense. Gonna get some more tea. However, to please his wife, he went and stood by the sea. When he saw how green and dark it looked, he felt much discouraged, but made up a rhyme and said, "Flounder, flounder in the sea, come, I pray, and talk to me, for my wife, Dame Isabel, sent me here a tale to tell." Then the fish came swimming up to the surface and said, "What do you want with me?" "Ah," said the man, "I caught you and let you go again today, without wishing, as my wife says I ought to have wished, for she cannot live any longer in such a miserable hut as ours, and she wants a better one." "Go home, man," said the fish, "your wife has all she wants." So the husband went home, and there was his wife no longer in her dirty hovel, but sitting at the door of a neat little cottage, looking very happy. She took her husband by the hand and said, "Come in and see how much better it is than the other old hut." So he followed her in and found a beautiful parlor and a bright stove in it, a soft bed in the bedroom, and a kitchen full of earthenware, and tin and copper vessels for cooking, looking so bright and clean, and all of the very best. Outside was a little farmyard with hens and chickens running about, and beyond, a garden containing plenty of fruit and vegetables. "See," said the wife, "is it not delightful?" "Ah, yes," replied her husband, "as long as it is new, you will be quite contented, but after that we shall see." "Yes, we shall see," said the wife. A fortnight passed, and the husband felt quite happy, till one day his wife startled him by saying, "Husband, after all, this is only a cottage, much too small for us, and the yard and the garden cover very little ground. If the fish really is a prince in disguise, he could very well give us a larger house. I should like above all things to live in a large castle built of stone. Go to thy fish and ask him to build us a castle." "Ah, wife," he said, "this cottage is good enough for us. What do we want of a castle?" "Go along," she replied. "The flounder will be sure to give us what you ask." "Nay, wife," said he, "the fish gave us the cottage at first, but if I go again, he may be angry." Never mind, she replied. He can do what I wish easily, and I have no doubt he will, so go and try. The husband rose to go with a heavy heart. He said to himself, this is not right. And when he reached the sea, he noticed that the water was now a dark blue, yet very calm. So he began his old song, Flounder, flounder in the sea, come, I pray, and talk to me, for my wife, Dame Isabel, wishes what I fear to tell. Now then, what do you want? Said the fish, lifting his head above the water. Oh dear, said the fisherman in a frightened tone. My wife wants to live in a great stone castle. Go home, man, and you will find her there, was the reply. The husband hastened home, and where the cottage had once stood a great stone castle, and his wife tripped down the steps, saying, Come with me, and I will show you what a beautiful dwelling we have now. So she took him by the hand and led him into the castle through halls of marble, while numbers of servants stood ready to usher them through folding doors into rooms where the walls were hung with tapestry and the furniture was of silk and gold. From these they went into other rooms equally elegant, where crystal-looking glasses hung on the walls, and the chairs and tables were of rosewood and marble. The soft carpet sank beneath the footsteps, and rich ornaments were arranged about the rooms. Outside the castle was a large courtyard, in which were stables and cowsheds, and horses and carriages, all of the most expensive kind. Beyond this was a beautiful garden, full of rare flowers and delicious fruit, besides several acres of field and parkland, in which deer, oxen, and sheep were grazing. All indeed that the heart could wish was there. Well, said the wife, is not this beautiful? Yes, replied her husband, and you will think so as long as the humor lasts, and then I suppose you will want something more. You must think about that, she replied, and then they went to bed. Not many mornings after this, the fisherman's wife rose early. It was just daybreak, and she stood looking out, with her arms akimbo, over the beautiful country. Isn't it akimbo? Never. That's a good word. That's a good one. Beautiful country that lay before her. Her husband did not stir, and presently she exclaimed, Get up, husband, and come to the window. Look here, ought you not be king of all this land? Then I should be queen. Go and tell the fish I want you to be king. Ah, wife, he replied, I don't want to be king. I can't go and ask that. Well, she replied, if you don't care about being king, I wish to be queen. So go and tell the fish what I say. It's no use, wife, I cannot. Why not? Come, there's a good man, go at once. I must be queen. The husband turned away in a sorrowful mood. It is not right, he said. It is not right. However, he went, and as he stood on the seashore, he noticed that the water, looking quite dark and rough, while the waves foamed and dashed against the shore as if they were angry, but still he said, Flounder, flounder in the sea, come, I pray, and talk to me, for my wife, Dame Isabel, wishes what I fear to tell. What? Cried the fish, rising to the surface. She is not content, and she wants to be queen. Very well, then, go home, and you will find her so. When he got home, he found the castle had disappeared, and he saw in a distant palace, which seemed to grow larger as he approached, and at one end was a large tower and a noble terrace in front. A sentinel stood at the gates, and a band of soldiers with drums and trumpets were performing martial music. On arriving at the palace, he found it was built of precious marble. Within, no expense had been spared no expense. The furniture of the most precious materials, and the curtains and carpets fringed with gold. The husband passed through the doors into a state apartment of immense size, and there sat his wife upon a lofty throne of gold and precious stones. She had a crown of gold upon her head, and a golden scepter in her hand, adorned with jewels. On each side of her stood 6 pages in a row, each one a head taller than the one next to him. He went up to his wife and said, "Ah, wife, so you are queen now."